7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is good, everyone? It is your boy Politic and Hawk alongside my guys, Mr. Rich Michaels, Mr. Moya Fit, Chris Wilson. This is Still Steps coming to you live on a beautiful Friday evening. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
We back. Feel like it's been forever, man, but we back.
Yeah, for y'all.
It's slacking over here. That's for sure.
I ain't gonna talk my shit, but we definitely, got a lot of turnbuckle talk to discuss this evening. What a amazing Friday Night SmackDown that just ended, which happened to have an impromptu WWE Tag Team title match, and we're going to talk about that momentarily. Plus, we're going to talk about NXT's Halloween Havoc that's coming up on Sunday, along with Shelton Benjamin's AEW run. And just for shits and giggles, in the spirit of Halloween, we're going to talk about our pro wrestling moments that had you legit scared. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. So, but first, let's jump into this week's headlines, and starting with Monday Night Raw, where we had a Intercontinental Championship match between Jey Uso defending his title against one Bron Breakker. And one for sure, this was definitely a pretty solid match overall, especially with the theatrics that happened during this match, which we will talk about tonight. But this was took place in Philly. Fast forward in the match, there was a moment where Jay spotted his younger brother Solo, as well as Jacob Fatu walking in the crowd, showing up with 2 tickets. Jay, approached them both, and he was asking, why Solo was there, and Solo was saying that he was there to help him, hold on to his title. Midway through this match, we had one Tangaloa trying to help Jay, which Jay then pushed him off, and then he ended up super kicking him, followed by super kicking Tama Tonga, which then there was a moment where then Solo, then confronted Jay as far as, the actions that he was doing. And there was a moment during this spot where one Bron Breakker was getting ready to take advantage of the moment, but he ended up sparing Solo, which then prompted one nice little face-off between Jacob and Bron, to take place. Side note, this will be a match I will really enjoy seeing at some point in the near future. Before we, proceed, to the conclusion of this match, Chris, I'll start with you just as far as overall this match and, the flow with the Bloodline interference, your thoughts.
It was a pretty decent match. Say for a main event. Shout out to our city. Like, the crowd was hot. Saying we was definitely energetic. Sometimes as a true Philadelphian, born and raised here, we can be a bit, mute, a little mild, because we just, not even because, trying to be too cool, we're a little too tough for our own good sometimes. So, but we were definitely showing the energy. The back and forth was good. The spots, Bron with the power stuff, Jay with the resilience and the animated style he has. Sometimes not always, good wrestling matches. Is usually just, 1, 2, 3 super kick, 1, 2, 3 super kick. But but it was a good match overall. And the interference with his brother, the new bloodline. It made sense. We're coming close to War Games. They got to start building the narrative of OG bloodline versus the new bloodline. Somehow we got to intertwine Jay into this a little bit more. It started with his brother, trying to basically recruit him back in, saying, "Hey, let's make Finn menses, all that stuff." But is I know some people are a little upset because Jay lost the title. It was like it's a short run. Like, what was the point? He pretty much, it classifies as that dreaded transitional champion moniker, because it kind of is, because it's such a short reign. But it was like I told you, it was that thing of Jay's too hot. They want to give him a moment as a singles competitor. But it was like, but ultimately they know, like, but we gotta have him in this story. And to have him in this story, he doesn't necessarily need to have a title. I mean, so unfortunate, but it makes sense. So I'm not unhappy that he lost the title. But he don't need it, especially for this storyline, for his character right now. She's still super over. So it's good storytelling at this point by WWE.
Right. No, I agree. Definitely agree. So, but yeah, so midway through this match, we had both Bloodline members, Tama and Tonga, approaching the ring, which then WWE officials came out. Then we had one Jacob proceeded to attack Jey Uso, super kicking him, and then giving him a Samoan drop through the commentator's desk, which then Bron proceeded to take advantage of. Then started licking his chops, like, hey, like, this is the perfect spot for me, to take advantage of, to be able to recapture my title, which he proceeded to do. He took Jay back to the ring, gave him the spear, then gave him the 1, 2, 3, and new Intercontinental Champion once again. Two-time Bron Breakker. Woo, woo, woo. It's like, no.
and there's so many underlines with this too. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, people don't need the mindset of WWE. You really gotta be a wrestling mark to see what's going on, because he lost the belt, basically had a little face off with Gunther to say, yeah, I'm on your heels, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then WWE straight pivot. It was like, wait a minute, we got Goldberg here. It's like the fans seem to be into it. Goldberg, Gunther, yeah, okay, yeah, Brian, we'll put you back in the Intercontinental title soon. Like, you're a heel once again,
right?
It was WWE pivot so funny sometimes, but it worked.
Yeah, but the good thing is they pivot at the right time. Like, it was a moment where, like, you didn't really jump the gun. You read the post of the fandom. Thing about it, like, Bron is always going to be that person where, despite he may have like that character persona of a heel, but he still somehow wrapped up the fans, you know what I mean, like with the bark, you know what I mean, like,
yeah, because he's a badass.
Yeah,
you got a dude that's like jacked like that, and like whose moveset is so dynamic, because it's like he's big as hell, but he's agile as hell.
Yeah,
when you see that, it's insanely impressive. So you just, like, it's hard not to be like, wow, when you see that. So it's hard to boo that. I mean, so people are gonna not like him, but like you said, when he starts to bark, and it's like, oh yeah, you're Rick's son. Yeah, okay.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Rich, your thoughts on the Intercontinental match from Monday, with the Bloodline interference and Bron Breakker becoming a 2-time Intercontinental Champion?
Well, I think the match was really good. Going back to Bron and Gunther for a second, I love how WWE, they pivot, but I love how they put it in the fans' mind. All right, maybe we'll see something down the road, kind of like the same thing that they did with Bron and Jacob. They set it right there. They plant the seed, and then they'll go back and revisit it. But at least it makes sense when they go back and they revisit it. There was some history there. I don't have a problem. Yeah, it sucks that Jay only had a title for a month, but I agree with Chris. It was about giving him his moment. He doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship going into now what's going to be the Bloodline feud at War Games. And we're gonna hit on SmackDown later on, but I think that's what happened tonight too. With this Bloodline, you don't need any titles on them to have this feud mean something going into War Games. So I was okay with the ending. I thought it was good. Shout out to WWE too, because sometimes when they have the heel or when something happens and they milk it, they do sometimes false finishes. I thought for a second they were going to do that and like give some hope and have Jay kick out, but he didn't. It was just boom, boom, right through spear, 1, 2, 3, done. There was no false finishes, no nothing, which was good. It was well done.
Yeah, no, totally agree. So let's jump right into fast forward to Friday Night SmackDown. So we had this, number one contenders tag for the WWE tag team titles, which Motor City Machine Guns defeated DIY to become the number one contenders. Then the music of the Bloodline hit. They come out to the ring. They talk their shit, saying, "Hey, listen, y'all new around here. I want Solo talking, saying he want the Motor City Machine Guns to acknowledge him." And Chris Sabin got on the microphone and pretty much told him like who they were, how decorated of a tag team they are. And then the Solo decided to step up and tell them, "Hey, listen, since y'all became number one contenders, how about y'all, fight us tonight?" Which we ended up having. So we had a impromptu WWE tag team title match. Nick Aldis approved, sent the ref down. We got a match. So towards the conclusion of the match, we had some unidentified members, come down to the ring to attack the Bloodline. And one of the members happened to be Jimmy Uso. Came out, took care of Jacob, took care of everybody else. Then a fight, rung out. Next thing you know, we hit the music of the OTC, which was Roman coming out attacking Jacob. And then we also had another unidentified person come out attacking Tonga. Had a chair, started attacking everybody. And then once this member got inside of the ring, it turned out to be none other than one Mr. Main Event, Jey Uso, coming out to make, making an assist by way of attacking the Bloodline. So, which, prompted for the Motor City Machine Guns to get the 1-2-3 victory and become the new first time WWE tag team champions. Like, and I'm gonna try to stay the course as far as what we're talking about, but I do got a little bit of a beef, and I got to shout out someone because I caught this on a fly on social media, but someone said that they're doing so much more for the Motor City Machine Guns than they're doing for the Street Profits already in the span of 2 weeks. It's like, I was like, yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. Like, I would feel some type of way too if I were them, but that's another conversation for another time. But gentlemen, after tonight, it looks like we're beginning to see that relationship being built between Jay, Jimmy, and Roman to go against the Bloodline. Rich, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on the ending of what the OTC, the Usos, had done by way of attacking the Bloodline, and what should we expect going forward?
Well, I think, obviously we knew what was going to happen at War Games. It's a matter of when it was going to happen, of how we were going to get there. So obviously it makes sense. Again, as I said before, you don't need the tag titles on the Bloodline. This story is just evolving, and it just has so much going for it without any titles. The titles will be secondary, and you don't need that. I will agree. Listen, I like Motor City Machine Guns. I do. I think they're a very talented team. They made a big splash, got a big ovation and pop. People know who they are when they came on last week. To put the titles on them when there could have been some other people they could have. I get it's a name and it's a known name that a lot of people know, but You know, I'm okay with the title change. I just would have liked to see some other talent like Street Profits, somebody get a little bit more of a push, or get who's done time there to go and actually get the titles. That's my only beef with it. Not them losing the titles, but just putting it on them too quick.
Right. Chris, your thoughts?
The ending was typical WWE fumblery. It's like a lot of interference, a lot of distractions, but big pops from the crowds. You know, show the main guys, the top heels, and you're trying to put over the new tag team from guys who are established in the wrestling world. But honestly, like I said, there's different type of audiences in wrestling. So Motor City Machine Guns, we know them very well for all the work they did in the indie scenes, TNA, ROH, stuff like that, all over the world, in Japan, stuff like that. But WWE crowd don't know them that well like this. So you think, who's these up and start guys? Was like, no, these guys are like well into their 40s and they've been in the game for a long time. So they're not new. And like I said, like we were talking about, if I was Street Profits, I'd be like, really? We're right here. We're right here. Yeah. That could have been us. While y'all build the Motor City Machine Guns a little bit more to where they're a little more intriguing. Like, we knew the tag team titles had to come off the new Bloodline, because honestly, I told you would forget their champions. To be honest, you would legit forget they were the tag team champions. What's the name? So we definitely had to get the titles off of them. But it's like, you know, it's cool for the shock and awe factor of putting it on them. And congratulations to them. Like I said, they've been at this for a long time. Like this, I've always liked them as a tag team. They're a legit tag team. But, you know, it was like, and for the people who are in the know, this was supposed to be the Lucha Bros. but because contract disputes over the other side over there is not them. So, you know, but hey, Motor City Machine Guns, the ones who are fortunate, you know, and now they're on top of the tag team division. They're gonna give really great matches. They're a legit tag team. They're going to have great matches. It's going to be good for guys like DIY, Street Profits, and all that stuff. But, you know, time will tell what type of response and energy they get from the WWE crowd. And, you know, but that's how it's supposed to be. And the Bloodline going into next month War Games is building. So we're just waiting for the final pieces to happen. So next 2 weeks is going to be good.
You know, this got me thinking now, because how long has the Bloodline have been holding onto the WWE tag team titles?
It has to be on a low like this. I say, did they have the titles before Judgment Day or after?
When did Jacob appear? Because right after he appeared, within like a week or two, they had titles on them. It's been a bit. That just shows you how irrelevant the title. Like I don't even remember when they won the titles. Like I know they won them, but
they won them on SmackDown. They beat DIY, and this is like, and this one it was Jacob. But people probably remember. Remember, Jacob was the original tag team champion with Tonga.
Since August.
Oh, I'm about to say, all right, since August. So they've been tag team championships August. How many times did they actually defend them? Once, maybe.
Well, on a live WWE live shows, they're noted to have defended them, but I mean, not as much like on like actual television.
Yeah. So like this. So yeah. So like So we need to get those titles off of them, because they, like I said, they weren't defending them. Nobody even cared that they were champions. They weren't even like I said, once again, if you're in the know, you know that Tama and Tonga are legit tag teams.
Yeah.
Like they've been Guerrillas of War. Like they over there in Japan multiple time champions.
Because the reason I was even bringing that up, like for them to actually, had Motor City Machine Guns win the titles, does this show the lack of the WWE tag team roster on the SmackDown side, or can make a case for the Raw side too. Like
I say, yeah, I think on both sides. Like, unfortunately, and even though they got this, I'm saying you have legit tag teams who can go. Like I said, DIY is a tag team. You already know them two. They can go. Street Profits can go. What's the name like this? Like you got the tag teams that were there, but whether injury or stuff happens, it could have built up to have legit competitions. And like I said, the tournament thing, I'm with the tournament thing. I like
the tournament was great.
The tournament was great. Like I like I love that idea of the tournaments. Tournaments is always a good idea. What's the name? Because it truly shows who was the best tag team to come out to be the legit number one contenders. What's the name? But this unfortunately this goes back to the old crazy guy regime where he just didn't care about tag team wrestling. It was all about the world championship and nothing else, pretty much. So when Triple H, like I said, I can't. As much as I praise him, I can also point out when he's failing at something. Tag team division right now on both sides. Like you debut these beautiful titles on both brands, and we think it is a new day. No pun intended.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we think it's gonna be a new day for the tag team division, and it's right back to where it was, to where the reason why teams like FTR left. It was like, look, these guys aren't doing us the due diligence that we deserve, and we're very talented. We do these great matches, but y'all can care less. So right now, that's kind of where it's at right now. That's why you've got these titles on these new guys, air quote new guys. But it's like, did we because y'all trying to get some type of wow factor in the tag team division right now, where it's like, dude, this could have been the Street Profits, and everybody would have been happy. Nobody would have been like, oh, where did this come from? They'd probably be like, yeah, about time, damn.
As far as like the tournament go, like again, the tournament was great. I would have extended the tournament even longer than what it was. Like I'd have set it up on some 64 tournament NCAA type stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Having it lead all the way up to Survivor Series or something, like at least it gives you something across the board. You know what I mean? Whether if it was on Raw or SmackDown, even like it was more so like on SmackDown, but like, let it stretch out just a little bit more versus like the impromptu. Not mad at it again, like not mad at the call, because one, I cannot say Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin don't deserve it, like they've paid their dues, like they're such veterans of the ring. So like it's not bad that they got the title, but it does show a little bit of the what's the term I want to use, where it's like it seems like they didn't trust what they originally had. So where you know what I mean, like exactly. you got Guerrillas of War coming in. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, they don't have confidence. They don't have
the confidence. Exactly. Yes.
I completely agree with you, but that happens because you're not building or doing anything with it. I get,
right.
Like we all said, they could have extended, or like you said, we could have extended the tag team tournament, would have showcased more tag teams out there, get more tag team on air. But I agree with you. I don't think they have confidence in the tag team division at all.
Yeah. No, and seeing what they've done, maybe this will light a fire under those members that are part of the tag team roster to say, you know what, like we need to get our shit together, like, or have a heart to heart amongst their teammates. Like, listen, like, what do we need to do to be to be not just better, but to have that opportunity, to have that privilege to be on television, consistently week after week, right. And be able to be in the title picture again. I honestly, at this point, I hate to keep going back to the Street Profits, but I don't think they really got a choice but to go heel at this point.
Yeah. Like, they need to do something different. Yeah, they need to do something different. They were, what's the name? When they first came, were they always baby faces? Even in NXT days?
Didn't they try pairing with Lashley, and they were trying to be heels at some point? I think they had a faction going, but that lasted like 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
They
didn't last a very
pivoted
long
from
time.
that quickly. Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Because people just didn't want to boo them. That's what the thing was. Like
That, and the only faction they were going up against at the time was Karrion Kross and with AOP and all of them.
Yeah, which were heels. So it's like
Right.
it's like all right. So it's an easy one who to boo and who to cheer.
Right. Not for nothing. I was going to mention this in the group text regarding another tag team, and it's not to go way left with this, but the New Day themselves, Kofi Kingston and Xavier. And I know we've had this conversation in the past, and we've been kind of clocking when that inevitable day of Xavier Woods would turn on Kofi Kingston. I'm starting to have second thoughts on this. Is it quite possible that, two theories in mind, that New Day remains, but Xavier Woods is just now this new loose cannon firecracker type of role, and Kofi is kind of like that one in the medium, to try to play mediator with if things were to go awry, during the match, or with another group. Or is it possible we someday do see that Kofi sees the light of what Xavier Woods has been talking about, and then does decide to become a heel? What do y'all guys think?
So I'm thinking one of two things. Either Kofi does see, I'm on that vibe of Kofi does see the light, and as far as what Xavier is talking about, and turns heel alongside of him, because I would love for them both to be heels, to be honest.
Right.
Like they, when New Day were heels, it was very entertaining. It was even though it had still like a comedic side to it. Maybe this time it could be a little more serious. And so I think it would be that. So, or I think it might be a swerve, and Kofi's the one who actually turns heel, because he's just like, he feels like, even though Xavier's complaints are warranted, he feels like Xavier is complaining too much. Like he feels hired and down. It's like, who are you to be complaining and making these demands? Like he's like, I'm Kofi Kingston. I'm a former world champion. I've held all these titles in my career. Like I'm the guy who like made the New Day like an actual thing, because you guys weren't even known like that until I joined the group. It was like this, like y'all were floundering until I became part of the group. So it's like, so he can come with all that stuff. He was like, you need to pay homage to me like this. Like, you should have let me lead, but you wanted to be the leader and not blah, blah, blah. So I feel like either Kofi, like I said, Kofi either could like just make the switch and agree with Xavier and they just go full on heel, or he just turns heel himself and they do a little swerve. And even because sometimes it's that obvious of like Xavier being heel, but maybe WWE once again pivots and be like, let's get him and have Kofi be the heel. Or Big E could come back and make him reconcile, and then it goes all the way.
Well, you bring up an interesting point. Do you think at some point the idea was to go one-on-one, but then as time went on, and like we just talked about the depth of the tag team division, maybe Kofi seeing the light and becoming a heel team might be what's best for the tag team division? Whether it was always supposed to be like that, or maybe it just turned out that way throughout the course of time, because they're taking a very long time if it's going to be one-on-one to play out this angle.
Honestly, it looks like they're in a position where like they're holding off, where like they're not allowing the heel turn to happen. Now that they're playing a role where if a match happens, win or lose, something happens to someone that's close to Kofi that he's friends with, Xavier Woods is preventing Kofi from helping him. like like trying to convince him to stop worrying about other people, problems, and worry about the New Day's problem. And Kofi, he has a heart. You know what I mean? He's like for instance, like when they were beating up on who's on
Our truth, yeah.
our truth on Monday.
Truth, yeah.
He was trying to help, but Kofi, kept preventing him to go back. Like he was like, look, like don't worry about him.
Xavier was preventing Kofi.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like he didn't want him to help out. So I feel like like they're at a point where they're trying to prevent. I feel like they're trying to hold off on the split, but I'm beginning to think I'm beginning to think with the way that the landscape of the tag team division, I don't think it would hurt if he were to go heel.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, I think it enhances the storyline even further, where it's like, it might be sad, to those who are, really fans of the New Day. But I'm gonna just be honest, like, thinking about being at the last few events, like Raw events, WrestleMania and stuff, I feel like the kid fan base of the New Day has decreased at the shows. So I don't know. Is it that the whole New Day persona, is it like starting to get watered down?
I mean, you think about it, like everything in life, and I'm not comparing them at all to the red and yellow guy, but I'm going far as the aspect of, if you were a fan of him when it was at his biggest height, and we get older, and what was once appealing at that point as a kid, it's not as appealing when you get to your teenager years.
Right.
Like the New Day, they've been at this on the low for like what? Well, how long the New Day's been a thing now?
At least over 5 years.
Like this, like
over that.
Like well over that. Well over that. They started on the low.
Actually, I'm tripping. Wait a minute.
2010s, bro.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say over a decade.
10 years, definitely.
Yeah,
I gotta say, like close to 10 years. So you figure those fans that were like between the ages of, let's say, 3 and 9 are now anywhere between 13 and 19. So now,
or even a teenager.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So now, before that New Day Rock stuff was cute and cool to go along with, now it's not as. Now we're more to LA Knight, yeah. And they do the yeets and all that stuff. Like we feeling that more so now. Now, like
talk about that too. By the way, I got a bone to pick with him.
Yeah. So now the aesthetic of the the bootios and all that stuff. That other stuff was fun and cool and funny, but now not so much now. So yes, now that kid New Day, like remember we used to see New Day stuff all over the arenas. Not so much anymore. So seriously, not so much anymore. Used to see horns and shirts, the bootios, cereals, and all that everywhere, pancakes everywhere. Not so much now. Yeah. So now you like when you gotta, like anything in life, you gotta read the room.
You're falling into my trap, Chris.
Yeah, you gotta read the room. So like if they go heel, like the red and yellow guy went heel, not saying it's going to change the dynamic of wrestling, but it would help them a lot to where people will be a lot more engaged with them. So
absolutely. No, I 100% agree. Rich, closes out on this. Your final thoughts.
No, I agree. Everything with the WWE now seems a little more attitude type based, and you don't have any of the singing and craziness and stuff like that. I think Big E really did bring a big part to that too when it was the three of them. I think a heel turn by both of them and being a heel team would be refreshing, would be something that would definitely help the tag team division. I'm all for it. I have no complaints. They could put, feuding with each other, beefing with each other for a while on hold. They could always revisit that at some point. But no, I actually think that would be actually a really good move if they became a heel team, tag team.
Gotcha. Moving on, getting back to SmackDown, because we had a match 7, I should call it.
Oh my
with
God.
between Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, and the winner of this match would be awarded the number 1 contender to the United States Championship match. So they made sure they had, some regulations in this match, which they made LA Knight the special referee. Long story short, going into this, there was a spot where Andrade ran Melo into LA Knight. LA Knight then attacked Melo, and then he proceeded to attack Andrade, and then he rung the bell and pretty much said that he was the winner out of this match and left the ring. Then there was a backstage segment with LA Knight and Nick Aldis, who told him that now you're gonna face both these members. I'm not sure. I didn't catch whether or not this is gonna happen at Crown Jewel, but now this is going to turn into a triple threat match for the United States Championship. I gotta be honest, man. I don't know what it is. LA Knight's starting to be a pain in the ass.
I'm glad you said it, because I'm going to tell you right now, he's like a wannabe new version of a Stone Cold Steve Austin. Dude, there's nothing. I don't know. It was and all that other stuff is entertaining, I guess, but I just know he's getting inserted into things like this, and it's just I agree with you. I'm
beginning
more
to
of a
get
nuisance than actually a cool thing to watch.
Yeah, I'm beginning to get the whole John Cena same old shit type of persona from LA Knight.
Yeah,
like I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm over the I'm over all of that. I'm over this dispelling. Everybody says, "Oh, hey, Knight, yeah." I'm good. Show up in the ring. Granted, we're here for sports entertainment. You keeping us entertained, but me personally, I just got to call a violation on the booking of this itself, because I feel like both Andrade and Carmelo Hayes have been consistent with their match course of the last couple of months on SmackDown. This being a game 7 format of a match, like, me personally, I feel like this deserved a clean finish.
Agreed.
Yeah. No pun intended at all. I just heard myself since I said it. What's the name? But no. So this is the all right. So this is the thing. In my opinion, Carmelo and Andrade has gotten so over in these matches because WWE is finally letting Andrade be Andrade.
Yes.
The guy can go in the ring. Just let him do that. Don't have no little gimmicks, just let him go in the ring and wrestle. And then every single week, people were reminded, was like, damn, this guy's really freaking good. It's no longer, this Charlotte Flair's husband. No. F that. Andrade was the truth. One of the best matches in NXT history was him and Gargano. Like this. That guy's the truth in the ring. He can go.
Right.
Carmelo Hayes can go. He's charismatic as hell. He's athletic as hell. He can sell his ass off, on some Dolph Ziggler type levels.
And great character outside of the ring. I love it.
That's what I'm saying. He gets it. Future world champion. We already see that stuff writings on the wall.
Yeah.
What's the name? It's just let these guys go. Now, the issue. WWE sometimes are oblivious, but sometimes also too has their finger on the pulse. They know one-on-one, LA Knight's not giving this type of match. So it's okay, we got to cover up the flaws of LA Knight. So it's so we can have these two both in the match to where they can do their spots and their great wrestling, and LA Knight come in there, just has his spots, give his charisma, have the child crown chant out, yeah, and all that stuff. while it looks like he's having a great match, is actually Carmelo and Andrade having the great match. But people get, the Jedi mind trick. It seems like LA Knight is also involved in this great match, even though he's barely doing anything. What's name? LA Knight would have been great for the Attitude Era. He would have been great right even during the John Cena era. Was named, but as far as somebody who doesn't have to be that great in the ring, but the character work took him over.
Yeah, quick note, that triple threat match will happen at Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel, I figure.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's getting, like I said, but now it's getting redundant. The after everything,
that shit is annoying.
Like seriously, it gets redundant. Like WWE, honestly, kind of missed their mark with him. They should have pushed him a lot sooner. Last year, around Money in the Bank time, like I said to this day, Damian Priest, even though he is what he's at now, he shouldn't have won that. That should have been LA Knight. He was super. He was the most over thing at the time. You should have did it. Forget he didn't need the briefcase. Damian needed it. No. Let's just go what makes sense. You should have did it then.
But do you believe they held off on giving it to LA Knight? Granted that there was that fear of this gimmick being, ran down so soon.
As far as what you mean?
Like as far as with what? Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. Do you believe? I need to go ask this as a question. I don't think those behind the scenes felt LA Knight was fit to fit that in those shoes of a champion, and I don't think he was.
Like to say, so this is the thing. At that time, a year ago,
heavyweight champion, yes. No. U.S. champion, you can get away with that because that's not the main title.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. The U.S. title, definitely. Not even the Intercontinental title. U.S. title is perfect for him.
Right.
This is the thing, too. It is not WWE's fault. It's not his fault. His character got so over to where they had to push him a certain way. Because if you know LA Knight's career, he is actually a far better heel than he is a babyface. So this would actually work way better if he turned heel. If he turned heel, honestly, we wouldn't be having this same conversation.
Probably not.
But like this, but the issue is they running him as a face. He needs to be a heel. And in this triple threat, like honestly, weird enough, this would be the perfect spot to kind of turn him heel. If he does something, if he wins this in a heelish way, a cheating way, like this is the time to do it. Because the fans, even though they still chatting out, and singing along with him, like I think slowly you're starting to see it's turning a little bit.
Now, I agree with you saying that he's a better heel. I disagree that this would be the spot to make him the heel. I think for him to return as a heel, he's going to have to take off one of the heads of one of the top tier figures.
No, I'm saying he needs to I didn't say turn full heel. I mean do something to slowly get to that that was weird how he won that.
I mean, if anything, that he kind of started that tonight. You know what I mean? Doing what he did, with this match.
That's what I'm saying. So it starts tonight. Now Crown Jewel, he does something again to keep his title. See,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? He does something else again to keep his title. What he does, something, you can use foot on the ropes.
Right.
Something not something crazy, not like a chair or brass knuckles, but just something heelish. She's like, wait a minute, did he really do that to win?
Right.
So stuff like that. What's name? But he needs to be a heel. There's the only way people are going to be that invested again, like him versus a Cody as a heel, far down the road.
Oh yeah,
it will work.
I was actually going to use that as an example. He would have to maybe pair up with Cody, maybe somewhere down the road, and then just hit his finisher on him out of nowhere. Kind of like when Michael super kicked Red and Yellow out of nowhere and then just stood and looked at him.
Yeah,
Like it got to be like something on the lines of that level for
yeah,
I'm gonna say for me to believe again, to believe.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I would have to see that.
Yeah. Side note: do you guys like his finisher?
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
I'm
It's
saying,
okay.
like, for him, I'm like, that's it's like us again. It's like you can't do the can't do it like flying in the air because it looks too much like an RKO. If
Right.
he does his name, he it's like a stunner, but you can't do that because Kevin Owens is doing it. He already gets too many comparisons to Stone Cold as it is, so they can't just straight up hit a stunner. So I'm like, they got to find a new finisher for this guy because this one I don't like it at all. It's like for him is like So I'm like, all right,
No,
he needs
I see
something.
that.
He needs something a little more. I don't even say devastating, just something a little more like slicker to where he's like, all right,
Yeah.
because like I said, Carmelo Hayes, he sells the hell out of it, but everybody ain't Carmelo Hayes,
No, that's the truth though. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, yeah, he's not one of my favorites right now. Like,
He's not mine either. Like I'm being honest. Like I love him as a heel. I told you that he has great. He has a crap load of charisma. He can talk his ass off on the mic. And even I with Rose. Sometimes even his mic skills, I'd be like, It's
yeah,
like it's to me at times it's mid. Like I think people give him a little more credit than he deserves on the mic. But it's entertaining. But it's like when he goes against somebody to where he really has to nail that promo, it don't come off that great. It gets a little tongue tied and
right,
flustered. Like
right.
Oh,
to me, I'm more like like the Miz. I'm like man, the Miz will run circles around you. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly. What was you about to say, Rich? And to those
no, I know.
that are watching, comment in. Are y'all feeling LA Knight right now? Like, oh, I need to hear the pulse of the people.
No, so I agree with you, Chris. Like, other than like the actual catchphrase, yeah, and like the energy, like if you listen to him speak on the mic, it's not. I mean, it's okay, but it's not like captivating, wow, crazy. You draw you in attention. Why? It's not. It's him yelling his catchphrases, and that's it. Maybe I'm just with you guys and being biased. I'm not a huge. I think he has a lot of potential. He has a lot of charisma. I think as a heel he would be much better. I just don't think this is fitting him at all.
Yeah,
Being a
yeah,
babyface.
right. It's so much that you all right. Like we understand, like you're a badass, but it's like there's so much that you can do when you're the top tier of a title right now, and you got two standout competitors who probably could
right.
equally match you in the ring, if we keep it 100, like,
Mhm.
but it's your gimmick that's really getting you over and keeping you with that United States Championship. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's time with that title should be up, and I wouldn't be opposed if it happened at Crown Jewel. I know Joey would be upset for hearing that. Why it gotta happen there? Shout out to Joey Woods not on with us this week, but no, seriously though, man. Yeah, oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I was watching it. I was watching this match tonight, and I saw what happened. I was like, I'm not gonna say I'm shocked that it happened. But it's like, come on, man. Like y'all had a whole freaking package prior to this match, selling how this is the game 7 between, on both Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, and then you end it like this. Like it was terrible. That's just me.
No, and they deserved a legit ending, one way or another, and I get it. All right, now you have a triple threat for the US title, and one of them will probably lose. Miz will probably LA Knight will probably do something, but this is a way that neither one of them have to lose against each other, I guess. But man, it would have been great just letting it play out, like you said, a definitive winner. You put all this work. They put all this work into it, and they built it up, and they had great matches. It fell so flat because of it. It really did.
Right. Like I'm like, damn. Like I wanted to see a clean finish. But well, of course, we should have known it wasn't going to happen when LA Knight, the guest referee.
About to say, but whenever the wrestler is the guest referee,
once I heard that, I was like,
it never go like people should read the room a mile away. Whenever the wrestler is the guest referee, I'm like, all right, here we go.
Us marks even know that. Like it's like, come on, we know. It's like, man, but I'm just saying, trying to be a little unbiased. Like, I mean, I got to be unbiased. like, come on, man. Like, that pissed me off though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, come on. Before we close out on SmackDown, we also had the Cody Gunther face off for their upcoming match at Crown Jewel. We also had one upset Randy Orton come out begging and pleading with Triple H to get his match with Kevin Owens, and during this segment Triple H made a point to say that he's not protecting Kevin Owens as Randy Orton indicates Triple H is doing, but Triple H is protecting Randy Orton from Kevin Owens. He went on to explain how he's, seen this difference in Kevin Owens where he opened up to show a heart to both Orton and Cody Rhodes, but somehow both Cody and Orton turned on Kevin. So now Kevin is this person that no one can really trust and could cause, a lot of havoc. And Orton basically, like, I don't care. Like, I need, how I feel. I need, what it was like, how he came when Triple H went into Orton's house, back in the day and stuff. He brought all of that up. So long story short, like, he pretty much begged for that match, and Triple H granted, his match at Crown Jewel. And he told him, he said, listen, don't, don't be upset with what you might come to, what might come to you over the next couple of weeks. So, but so now we got Orton and Kevin Owens going down at Crown Jewel. I mean, that's a match that we kind of we all kind of saw coming, just to kind of be the stepping stone to lead into Cody and Kevin Owens of some point down the road. So, but all in all, I thought this was a pretty good SmackDown event tonight out in Brooklyn, New York.
Right,
so,
New York.
I knew that would pop you.
How you doing,
Rich?
Where Brooklyn at?
Right?
Yeah, you all excited my earpiece fucking fell out.
Your Mets ain't make it, but you got the Yankees.
It's true. Yeah. The Mets made it further than the Phillies, but we're all sitting home on the couch right now watching. So
exactly.
Yeah, I ain't even. Yeah, trust me, I ain't talking shit at all.
Still unbelievable. Still unbelievable. It is what it is, though. Yeah. But yeah, no, great. Pretty decent episode of SmackDown. I will say I'm very grateful that these programs are all 2 hours across the board now. Especially like even like with Raw, like oh man, Raw is a struggle to watch all 3 hours.
3 hours, yeah, man.
Especially us, that gotta get up early. Like,
yeah, man.
Like goodness gracious. So, but yeah, no, I'm pretty good. Dope with it. Before we go into the next segment, I do want to point something out that happened. Sorry. It happened on Monday Night Raw. Somebody that we're all familiar with was part of the extras. I don't know if any of y'all caught this.
Yeah, they got flung.
Yeah. Our guy Marcus Mathers being part of the extras with the security trying to break up a large Bronson Reed going at it with Seth Rollins. I was like, yo, look at Marcus getting that time. I was like, well, and there goes Marcus.
Shout out to him, man. Just this time, geez, we've already been doing this over a year. This time a year ago, I'm watching him at this shed wrestling at the H2O arena in Jersey. Now I'm like seeing him on Monday Night Raw. I'm like, damn, okay, kid.
Yeah, I was like, look at Marcus, man. I was like,
and he took a nice bump too, man. He got thrown nice.
He did. He sold that amazingly. So good job.
I thought that was dope. And also, just had to shout that out for him. Like that was pretty cool. I mean, seeing him get that moment on Raw. So
one of those producers were impressed. I'm sure somebody in the back was like, "Damn, you see that kid fly?
Like, he can fly."
Send him to Orlando.
Yeah, right. Look, that's up next. Look, shoot. Look, if not, look, might mess around, be at NXT on a 6 after 2300.
Yo, NXT.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
NXT, random. I always call NXT Fantasy Island because it seems like they all just date each other.
Oh God,
I'm serious.
You ain't wrong though.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, bro.
It's just like NXT, like just like come here, you're guaranteed to get laid. Like, what?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Speaking of NXT, they got their Halloween Havoc event coming up on Sunday out in
I set that up.
Hershey, PA. It was good.
That was a great segue, Chris. Well done, man.
You know what I mean?
I read the caption up top.
You know what I mean? Read right into it. But this is actually a pretty solid card. I like what they got going on for this event. A lot of sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Damn, iPad up here acting up here. Got my notes. But no, this is a pretty solid card going down on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time for Pacific. Streaming exclusively on Peacock out in Hershey, PA. I wouldn't mind I thought about taking a trip out there. I was like, it's on a Sunday. I gotta work the next day. Yeah, I'm good. Not gonna work for me. But but I like what they got, how this card is shaped up to be. I think there's going to be some surprises on this card. What I don't know totally, but I just got a feeling there's some a couple of big things that's going to happen on this particular card. And I do want to talk about something regarding a hot topic this week, and which was the Trick Williams, Ethan Page segment that happened on NXT on Tuesday. And actually, before we even go into the actual card, I just want to touch on this for a second. Pause. I honestly didn't catch this in real time when I was watching NXT. I might have tuned out for a hot minute. That was opening night for the NBA. So I was back and forth with the remote. So I actually missed this particular segment. But the very next day, I happened to been listening to Busted Open, and there was like a big conversation about this segment, talking about how Ethan Page, being so angry at Trick Williams and basically, discussing his career of 17 years being in the business and finally having an opportunity to hold on to a WWE title. And since losing it, like he's been having that craving to get it back all over again. And during this particular segment, Trick Williams just like, kind of nonchalant, like, yeah, I hear you, but this is my time and I'm not gonna let you, take my title, just kind of, kind of saying what a little bit what he said, not totally like in that saying, but I see where some people might have criticized Trick Williams for the promo because it was a little bit one tone throughout the entire segment when Ethan Page was leaving Earth. I'm be honest. Like I don't know if have y'all seen this particular segment?
I
Yeah,
have not.
You
I
did
have.
see it, Rich?
I
Yeah.
did. So, um, I could see why people would say that, but I think, Trick was just trying to come across as just this calm, cool, champ. You've never been able to beat me type thing. I didn't, I don't, I see why people would feel that way. That was really one sided, but I think it was more of Ethan Page's to sell. Trick's is the champion. He made it a point to say, "You never beat me. You never pinned me." I think he was just trying to stay, like that cool, cocky, calm, like I got you type thing. I didn't really have a problem with it. I see why people would say it was over the top and how he didn't like deliver at all, though. It
Yeah.
was a little one sided. I could see why people would say that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I felt like it was one sided because of experience. Like Ethan Page, yeah, like he's close to 20 years in the business. Trick is still relatively new. So his background is, not even near close to what Ethan Page's background is in wrestling. Not saying that it just shouldn't have allowed him to not deliver a better promo, but maybe like this is the work. And I don't know, maybe those who, that were talking about this, making it much, much of something, maybe they missed that point where it's like Trick, like you said, like it was like, like whatever, like, you got all those acolytes, but I'm the champion. Like you still got to get this from me. So
Yeah.
like, what more do you want him to say? Like, how much more do you want him to counteract with him? Now, I will say this based on the stipulation of this match, which, we could talk about a little bit more as we, go into the preview of the card. I will say just how like Trick had on all white during this segment. If he came out with this and this type of gear for Halloween Havoc, he better be covering in nothing but blood. Like
Yeah.
that's all she wrote. Like he can still come out on top, but he better come out bloody because the way
Yeah.
Ethan delivered during this promo, like he like, look, like I don't care about how flashy you are. Like, I want to kick your ass.
Right.
Like plain and simple. So, but we could dissect that a little bit more. When we talk about the actual stipulation of this match. But in the meantime, again, Halloween Havoc coming up on Sunday. One of the matches we have on the card was, and all matches were, stipulations were spent on the wheel, like spin the wheel, make the deal, like back in the day. We got Andre Chase going up against Rich Holland in an ambulance match. Looks like we're finally getting to the conclusion of this Chase U Rich Holland storyline. I got Andre Chase winning this. I think for some reason they really like this dude. Like,
Yeah.
like, don't get me wrong. I love the backstage segments with Andre Chase, and also too he is a workhorse. I will say this. He is a workhorse. He's a great seller. And I think that's probably
Yes.
why they really like
Yeah.
him. So,
Yeah.
I say it on nonchalant, like they really like this dude, and like I see why they like him. Like he's definitely a great seller. So, but I'm gonna go with Andre Chase winning this ambulance match. Gentlemen, what y'all think? Chris, I'll start with you.
I'm actually, funny enough, I'm actually going with Rich Holland. His
Mhm.
name. I think they're trying to build him up as like a really like threatening heel.
Mhm.
So his name. So like they honestly going back from the main roster to NXT really revived his career. To be honest, so his name. So He's a big dude. You know, he's like tough guy. You know, with his background, I think he did rugby or something like that.
Yeah.
So he's a legit tough dude. So like I think they want to build him up as this kind of low key monster heel, somebody who can just threaten and brawl and beat up people. So for going against this guy over here, he is the perfect person to do that against. Like I said, he's a great seller. He has a face that you want to punch. You know what I mean? So it's like this is the perfect way to start Rich Holland's big bully type persona. So I'm gonna go with him. You know, just like it just I know it would make sense for the Chase U guy to get his revenge back for Rich Holland turn and all that, but sometimes the heel wins the war. You know, and so I'm gonna go with Rich Holland on this.
Rich, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Rich too. I think just he's the big name, and don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be surprised if Chase wins, but I think I agree with Chris that they're building him to this bigger heel coming from from the main roster to NXT. And I think that a win here, not even a dominant win. I think Chase is going to go and battle back and hard, but I just see them going with Ridge here in this match.
Gotcha. 2 for Ridge and only 1 for Andre Chase. the man Chris wants to punch in the face.
He's just something about his face.
He does have a very punchable face. There's something about your face. I gotta punch it.
Something about your face.
Tragic.
Sorry, Chase.
This is great. You're doing your thing, but if you don't change your face, I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna change your face.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, you're a workhorse.
Great movie.
Right.
Seriously, Andre, your workhorse, you sell like crazy, but just something about your face, man.
Y'all crazy. Next up, we
can't use you.
Right.
We have the NXT Women's North American Championship match with Kalani Jordan defending the title against one member of Fatal Influence. So we're still, not certain who's going to be the person that Kalani Jordan faces, but I think she'll still come out on top as retaining the North American Championship. Y'all thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kalani on this. I don't think it doesn't matter who she's gonna face. She's been good so far as a champion. She still has room for improvement, but she's doing well. She's starting to get it. Still has time to grow, but she's starting to get it. And right now, I don't want her to lose the title just yet. You know what I'm saying? So I might be a little biased on that, but I think she needs to be more like a longer reigning dominant champion, so it builds her profile a little bit more, and to eventually get to programs to be the go for the NXT Women's World Championship. So it's so right now, I think she'll hold on to the title and keep it for a little while longer. Probably going into the end of the year 2025 maybe.
Okay. Rich, who you got?
The champ is retaining. I agree. I think no matter who she faces right now, it'll be a good match, but something that she should have a title reign that goes a little bit long. I agree with Chris. I think we're just scratching the surface here with her. Can I ask you a question? No, I was a little taken. So the ending, did you see the ending of NXT?
Yes.
At all? Either one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so they spun the wheel. They said person's choice, and then it went out lights and what's the name appeared. But that's how they went off. Where were they going with that? You know what I mean?
Right. It was almost as if what's the girl? Was it
Delta?
Delta? As if maybe I don't want to say maybe
I couldn't think of a name. That's it, Delta. Yeah.
Maybe she might be chasing the title, possibly. I don't know. That was a little bit of a weird ending. That was a big discussion too this past week.
I'm not
really going with it.
Yeah, and I'm not too familiar with her work, so I don't know how. I know obviously she's a big bruising individual. She's a big girl, muscle strong girl. So, but I don't know like in ring how good she is. So I'm not gonna be quick to say, yeah, she should be the person to dethrone. Just like I don't know. So I gotta see how she is first before I even start to talk about her. To be honest,
Right. No, I agree.
I gotta do some homework on her. I'm not really familiar with her.
Should have studied. It's like, duh.
You're right.
We all do.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the NXT North American Championship match with Tony D'Angelo defending the title against former champion Oba Femi in a tables, ladders, and scares match. I'll be honest, this is probably the one I'm a little torn on. Like, would they dare put the title back on Oba Femi, even though he just lost the title a couple of weeks ago? Like, I don't know. I'm a little torn on this one. That said, I'm gonna go with Tony retaining the title in the TLS match.
TLS match.
Yeah.
What's his name? Yeah, it's easy to be torn on this match because it's weird. Like, I guess I don't know, man. I don't like the Tony D character. I'm gonna keep it real. It's like this. I'm like this mafia, Tony D family type. Is like I know that was the NXT 2.0 days of where they try to revert back to the old ways of WWE of characters more than wrestlers, but it was like I never big fan. He's good in the ring. He's not bad at all, but I wanted Oba to be a longer champion. Be honest, I wanted him to have that title for another 4 or 5 months. To be honest, like I want him to have like a long reign. But I think Tony D is gonna hold on to the title. Oba's either gonna go for the world title next, or he's going straight up to the main roster.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Is it possible we may see Oba going to the main roster soon?
Yeah, he got to. Like that guy's just you can't look at that guy and then be like, yeah, let's keep him down here in developmental much like he'll be fine on the main roster.
Yeah. Rich, who you got?
I got Tony winning too. Just it is a tough one, and I could see him going either way. But just because I agree with you, and I think Oba's going to eventually be on the main roster sooner rather than later, I see Tony retaining.
Okay. We sweeping the board on that one. Nice. All right. Next up, we have the NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez, along with Cora Jade, going up against Julia and Stephanie Valkyrie. To me, I think this is going to be match of the night. Could possibly be match of the year with these four ladies going toe to toe. And so I'm loving this match. I'm going to go with Julia and Stephanie Valkyrie to win. But for some reason, I feel like there's a good chance Roxanne might cheat to win. But I'm sticking with one. I'm going with Julia and Stephanie.
Yeah, you gotta have Julia and Stephanie go over here. Like you have to. Like this the new freshness, the new hotness in town. They're both super over from their New Japan and indie scenes days. Like even though they're like not well spoken on the microphone, they don't have to be just yet because the in-ring does so much talking. Like that's what I said. If you're not good on the mic, be extremely good in the ring, and both these girls are. So they got that going for them. It's going to be interesting to see how Cora Jade does. Like with that. This is her biggest spotlight since she's been back, since she's been out hurt. So I want to see how she does when it's like not just like regular NXT show, but like a big event where it's going to be in a big arena.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be interested to see how she holds up. And Roxanne is Roxanne. She's going to be good. She does this in her sleep. What's the name? But like I said, I think it's going to be a great match. Like the Roxanne going to always be good. Julia stuff, they're going to be good. I'm going to see what Cora does. I think the faces are going to go over and still give that little thing of we both coming for your title, so it's like, always gets that intrigue of how is this going to play out in the end.
Interesting. That would actually be a good case. As soon as they finish, like, now I'm going for the title. No, I'm going for the title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rich, who you got?
I agree with you too on this, Julia and Stephanie. I definitely think they're going to be going over. I too want to see how Core's going to do. Let me throw this at you. Do you think obviously this is a huge match, right? A huge tag team match. Do you think one of the reasons it being that is, though, because Cora just came back and it's like the first big match that she's going to be in, so it's not just all one-on-one singles? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. It gives that bumper, like she's involved, but it also give her that time to, not be in a singles match, where taking a lot of spots. So this will help, kind of get her back, back into the shape of, running better, or transitioning into the singles, competition.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm in agreement with you. I have Stephanie and Julia winning too.
All right. Interesting. All right. Across the board on that one. And again, we got the main event match with the Devil's Playground match. NXT champion Trick Williams defending the title against Ethan Page. I'm gonna go with Trick. Despite the segment they had on NXT, I feel like this does give him a little bit more of the underdog power, because of what Ethan Page said to Trick during that promo. And again, like I was saying, I by it being a Devil's Playground match, I expect to see some blood. I expect to see some hardcore action. I mean, it's going to be in Hershey, PA at the Giant Center. I'm expecting to probably see a shopping cart from Giant, somehow make an appearance in this match. Like, so I think this might be the match where it should take Trick Williams to the next level for his career. So I'm going to go with Trick Williams retaining the NXT championship on Sunday. I'm going to go with you first on this one, Rich.
I agree. I think Trick's going to win. It's going to be a great match. These two got good chemistry. There definitely better be some blood. I agree with you. But I think right now and the momentum and where he's at, I think Trick is who you go with and bring him, as you said, to the next level. Champion here in NXT.
Oh, we got a visitor with a comment. Mr. Woods, just getting home, but wow, talk another rocket for Motor City. Yeah, we were talking about that at the beginning of the show. Coming right in, getting at the championship. Discussing the nature of the tag team division, and what they going to do, and just the quality of the tag team division. So we definitely going to circle back. When you get back on. Talk about that. So, but yeah. Chris, who you got?
Which name? Yeah, I definitely got Trick on this. They're not gonna put the belt back on Ethan. Like I said, this needs to be a brawl, not a wrestling match. Like I said, like this, I hate when there's like something bad blood is involved, and also this is from you, Chris. For real. This is, yeah, yeet. What's his name? This is definitely because this reminds me of not the same, but like we just talked about these gentlemen earlier, with Triple H and Randy Orton was having their blood feud, and they had the blow off match at WrestleMania, and it was like a wrestling match. It's like, no, they were supposed to tear each other limb from limb. That's what they need to do here. Trick need to like forget the calm, cool, collected guy. You need to go into a dark place and whoop this dude ass on another level.
Get real glass.
Yeah, exactly. He's talking about he's the devil. I hope MJF gives a little shade shot. Like, so everybody's the double now, apparently. I would love him to do that. But yeah, Ethan Page, like I said, it's certain guys. I understand the whole thing about, Ethan Page took it to another level. Like I said, he's been doing this for so long. He's so good on the microphone. Trick is good on the microphone, but he can't, like I said, certain levels to it. He can't keep up to an Ethan Page type thing. When a guy who can just like boom, 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 boom. Trick is not that type guy. His charisma makes his words more than what they are. Ethan Page is the guy who could talk 1,000 miles an hour.
Right.
What's his name? But this is gonna be a good match though. Like I said, I hope it's a blood feud. I hope it just brawl from beginning to end. There's gonna be some wrestling spots, obviously, but this needs to be a brawl from beginning to end. And I'll go with Trick because I think ultimately, eventually, somehow, some way, Ethan is going to get in some type of feud with CM Punk.
Yeah,
I see that happening probably next, but especially since Punk's not going to be in Saudi, so
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true. And you know what? That's a good point. Like they definitely haven't touched on that in a while, but I won't be surprised they do bring that back. If anything, they might. This might be the way to be able to write off Ethan. Have him lose this match, go through a lot, take him off television, and then have Punk doing whatever storyline Punk's currently in. And if he's on the verge of winning a match, had Ethan Page come out and screw him, balls, as far as losing that match.
Right.
I could definitely see something like that. Joey said Trick has done all he can in NXT. It's time to move up. I'd be cool with Page winning it back. I think Trick might have put himself, and he might have backed himself into a wall where he got to prove himself now, especially after that segment he just had with Ethan Page on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, like much as I want to see him move up, I honestly think it's not time for him to move up.
Yeah,
Like
not just yet now, yeah.
Right. Like I still think Raw are, still putting the pieces together as far as like who's going to be like the individual standouts for that brand when they make their Netflix move.
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown, they're in a position where I feel like SmackDown has a flow with what they have going on right now. Like even though, like with Gunther, being a top champion, and who's to follow Gunther at that point. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think we might see Gunther, holding on to that title for a while.
For a while.
Yeah. And it's crazy because it's like shit. You still got, Roman, Solo, the Bloodline, like that's that story. Like, how would that even translate once it ends for either one of those competitors to go for the title? Like, I tell you what, it's a lot more wide open on SmackDown's end as far as creating storylines versus Monday Night Raw at this moment.
Yeah, agreed.
Actually, you know what? I might have said that wrong because I said it as if like Gunther's on SmackDown. No, with him being on Raw, like there's the opportunity for storylines to develop on Raw. Once they execute.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, yeah. I had to play that out in my head again. Like, wait a minute, I don't think I said that right.
We got where you were going though. You know what? I think this could be a move up for Ethan Page. This, be the match to, like you said, with CM Punk. I think he's going to be on the main roster, and he's going to be on there. I think Trick, they still got some work to do. He could still be NXT champion for a while. I think Page can definitely move up, and a feud with CM Punk or even a bunch of different people on the main roster would be really entertaining. He could go on the mic. He could wrestle. He's experienced.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Sure, I probably see him moving up before Trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Ethan's ready for the main roster. Remember, like, you probably don't remember, but I said this like months ago when he first debuted. I never thought he was actually going to win the title. I thought he was just going to be, somebody, because he came out of nowhere. Nobody knew he was going to show up in WWE NXT. I thought he was just going to be like a guy who came in, made some noise, wrecked some havoc, then go right to the main roster.
Right.
Like I didn't think he was going to win the title. So when he won it, I was like, oh, that was weird. But then Trick got it right back, and I'm like, yeah, they're going to send him to the main roster. Especially when they see all the interaction with him and Punk. I was like, yeah, there you go. Make that happen. Right there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely agree. Yeah, so it should be a good premium live event. I was about to say pay-per-view event just now. Like, look, don't strike me, WWE. PLE, damn it. Like, say it right. But yeah, so Halloween Havoc going down on Sunday, October 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific. So, if you're looking to watch it, you can stream it exclusively on Peacock and, outside of US on WWE Network. So check it out. Definitely going to be a good show. Shout out to everybody I know that might be popping out, to the show on Sunday and Monday. I know a couple of people going to be staying over up in Hershey to go to the Raw event that's taking place that Monday. So, all right, gentlemen, we are approaching like the 126 mark. So we're going to close out on our question of the day. Before I even do that, I was going to bring up one Shelton Benjamin and his early run in AEW right now, but we'll table that for next week, and he might actually have some more to add to that conversation, but he's definitely kicking ass in
I say,
AEW
boy,
right
cooking.
now.
The boy's cooking.
Right. But we are Halloween is upon us. Halloween is 6 days away, and what better way to talk about Halloween, but also in the spirit of pro wrestling. Some moments of the past in pro wrestling that legit scared you, and maybe as a kid or as a fan, like it just spooked you out, and in professional wrestling. So I'll start now. For me, and I don't know if we ever talked about this before. I might have brought this up. Forgive me if I have, but I mean, listen, it freaked me out when I originally saw it, and I was a kid when it happened. So I was about 7. Actually, I was 6
Oh
because
no,
I was turning 7, and
he's gonna go with what I was gonna say. I guarantee it.
we
I guarantee.
my family we were watching the Halloween Havoc pay-per-view, and it was the Chamber of Horrors match with it was a spot in the match with Abdullah the Butcher being electrocuted. Like, I literally watched that live as a kid, and I'm thinking like this dude was really being electrocuted. Little did little did I know, looking back at it now as an adult, like he barely had the thing on his head, what I mean, that would have electrocuted him. But what I mean, he was, bloody, dripping down the forehead, and like he looked like he was knocked out in the chair. Like that freaked me out. But I was really freaked out at the fact that I thought Rick Steiner was going to be electrocuted at the time, but he ended up, escaping the chair, and then put Abdullah the Butcher into the chair. Meanwhile, this entire time, Cactus Jack was, climbing the cage to get to the switch and hit the switch, not knowing that Abdullah the Butcher was actually sitting in the chair. So that freaked me out as a kid. Like, real talk. I ain't gonna lie. Don't judge me. Nobody judge me on this. So that was my moment. I was legitimately scared in watching pro wrestling. Who I go next?
It wasn't a moment as far as just the person. Like I said, once again, at this time, I'm like every bit of 6, 7 years old. The freaking original version of the Undertaker like
Mm.
scared the out of me. It was like me and my cousins used to talk about all the time. Like, yo, what would you do? One day you just open your closet and the Undertaker was right there. What would you do? It's like because he was like this guy who was stone face. Because like I didn't know kids. I didn't know he had on makeup to make himself look ghoulish and dead looking and all. He used to roll his eyes back in his head and shit. I'm
Right.
like, what the like this guy like is dude like used to really freak me out. And it's like I was like, yo, this guy, you thought he was really dead. It's like this is a really dead guy. Wrestlers
Mm-hmm.
like this shows how gullible kids are. You just don't know any better. But yeah, just the persona of the Undertaker. Period. When I was a kid, he like that dude freaked me out. And so it was like it's just what it was. So no matches really freaked me out. Really it had me like, oh my god, it scared me. I should say, but the Undertaker, the original character, yeah, that dude's to freak me out.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Rich, close this out. What moment in pro wrestling legit scared you?
So I'm going to show my age now, but uh, it's not a Halloween. It wasn't Halloween themed, but I remember when I was 6 or 7, around we were all around the same age group, right? Because you
Yeah.
believe everything you see. And it was the old WWE, it was WWF at the time, and it's Saturday morning, and I'm going through the TV channels, and I watch Wrestling Superstars, and there is Macho Man in the ropes, and Jake the Snake Roberts has this
Uh,
fucking cobra, and it bites
Yeah.
and latches on, and I'm like, oh, but then you see the blood, and it's pulling, and my I still remember to this day. I'm like, oh my god, he's really biting him. Holy shit, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to him? I remember the whole rest of the day. I was like, what did I just see? I remember I was telling my parents, and my dad's like, what are you worried about? He's devenomized. He doesn't have venom in him. I'm like, what are you talking about? Then he went into the whole story about how how you could do that with snakes, but I didn't know that. I saw that. I was like, oh my god. And then you got Vince going, oh, the venom's running through his veins right now. Look at the Macho Man. I was like shell shocked for like a half a day, maybe even a day. And I still think about it to this day, how like it just, the shock value scared the shit out of me.
yeah.
Dude,
It's like, wow, look at him. He's really biting him.
I remember watching that as a kid as well. Do you
Mhm.
remember when they originally aired that? They used to put that big ass X on the screen so that
Yeah,
you couldn't
yeah.
see it.
They didn't want to show
Yeah.
it. So it was like when they originally did, it
Yeah.
was like, and it was like the ultimate botch when you find out
Yeah.
the backstory of it. Of they not only devenomized, they defanged the snake. The snake didn't even have teeth,
Yeah.
but
No.
it was still biting so hard that it broke skin. And Jake the Snake was shaking. You saw him. You remember he was shaking the snake because he was trying to shake the snake off of him. Like he was trying to get him off, but the snake was biting so hard. And like Randy Savage, I was very pissed afterwards. He was like, even before the match, he didn't believe him about the snake. So he made Jake Snake, made him make the snake bite him first.
I heard that story. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, he said this. If it doesn't hurt, he's like, let him bite you right now. And Jake was like, oh my god, Randy, okay. That was so crazy, but like, then that was gonna lie, that was at that time too. That was definitely when kayfabe was still alive and well. That was definitely a scary, holy-ish moment.
Oh, another honorable mention. Staying on the snakes, or that time when Warrior was like under like that spell, like
I
with
was
Jake
just
the
thinking
Snake,
about that.
and he had him in that snake pit.
Yeah.
And then somehow like when he he fell in the snake pit, and like Undertaker was also there. Like you remember that? Like,
yeah. When he turned the lights on, it was all these snakes all over the place.
Yeah.
I was just like, it was so crazy for a guy who loves snakes. That freaked me out. I was like, oh my god, what the hell? Like somebody help him. And then like I said, damn, Dick the Snake, bad guy now, you suck. Like this, you supposed to be my guy. What's his name? But Ultimate Warrior always suffers some bad spot. Papa Shango put the spell on him.
Oh yeah.
Right, right.
I was
Just
like,
randomly start throwing up.
yeah,
Like,
blah, blah.
yeah. My power's not working.
Yo, oh my God, those promos, boy.
God bless. Bro.
You know,
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my boys just the other day. We were talking about just all these like crazy promos in that one short span. Like you had Macho Man, you had Warrior, you had Jake the Snake, you had who else did you had? You had Honky Tonk. You had all these great promos that were just crazy promos that you just couldn't help but watch it. It was just yeah. They had some really crazy characters, and I guess maybe because I was younger too, it just like captivated me. But you look at the characters that they had back then; it was like larger than life, like fictional, but it was still great. The stuff that they said,
yeah,
like my man Rick James said, God bless the soul. Yep. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Seriously,
those promos. The steroids and cocaine was flowing, boy.
Yeah, you can't get away with some of them now.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's the truth though. You go back and listen to some of them, especially like most of Warriors promos. You're like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about?
My everlasting gods came down and talked to me, but you people can't hear them. But they put my soul through you, the Warriors.
Right.
He's like, I'm just looking at him like, Jesus. Veins are popping out crazy. You're not even doing nothing.
Right. Like, I'm gonna put you on my shoulder, then put you on my back, and then you're gonna feel the power of the Warrior. Like, what?
Yo, tell you the infamous, like everybody talking about to this day, the Hulk Hogan promo where he was like this. He was like, I'm going to take you, Hulk. Okay.
Yes.
He's like, then I'm going to take you into the plane. It's like, whoa, that guy took
load the rocket fuels. We're going.
Right.
Shit, the whole time.
And plummet you deep down into the ocean.
That got me ready to watch the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior again now. They had the one part about that where they were talking about his promos. Like, you're like, what dude? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. He would go into his rants. God bless his soul. Macho Man would go into his rants.
Yeah.
Was named, but at times they were gold. They were gold. It was like they just hit so perfectly. Like to this day, I remember the Macho Man after he won the WWF title from Ric Flair, and he ended the one with like he gave the belt to Elizabeth. He was like, "This is yours. Take it and go." he's like, this. He's like, and Ric Flair, "This is yours. You hear me? This is yours." He said, "You can have all of me next time." I was like, "Oh, okay." The Macho Man was gold, man.
Miss Elizabeth holding her tight, like, what do you want me to do with this, Randy?
Yeah, he's just like, he gave it a belt. He's like, "This is yours. Take it and go." We're like, damn.
Grab your stuff and go. Crazy. Man.
Gotta love, like I said, I don't care. I know a lot of that stuff in the 80s, definitely early mid 90s, wouldn't fly today. But I don't care. No. I loved it. Yeah. I loved it. To this day, even though these crowds starting to get white hot again, our era, those 80s, like this mid to late 80s to early 90s crowds, it was something different.
Yeah.
Like, people were into wrestling. Like you can't get those type of reactions you used to. Like even the lower card guys used to get crazy reactions. Like they just
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's all about the crowd participation. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like even with just in the form of a clap. You know what I mean? Like you get the crowd clapping. You know during the match, then you got something. So, All right, gentlemen, we are at the 1 hour 39-minute mark. That actually went by very fast.
It did.
Like,
It did.
you know, what I mean, great conversations this evening.
Because we back.
Yes, sir. I mean, back at it. So, you know what I mean? Everybody, you know, we
Sir.
greatly appreciate y'all joining us this evening. You know, we got next week we'll be talking about, you know, previewing Crown Jewel because that'll be going down next Saturday. As well as we'll probably know a little bit more information as far as NXT coming to the 2300 arena in Philly. So we'll probably dissect that a little bit more leading up to that event. I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait for that show. Like I'm looking forward to
I'm
just to
just-
see just to see, you know what I mean, like how the setup's going to be. And because I me personally, I'm gonna say me personally, you know, I was, you know, talking to someone, and we're in the mindset we're thinking this isn't just going to be a one-off. There's a good chance, based on the way how tickets sold so quickly, I think there's a good chance they run here more than, you know, than normal, than some people may think.
Yeah.
And someone might have tipped their hands off of that, and I'll talk about that off air. So because, you know, still want to, you know, stay in Greece because they might be on at some point in the future. So anyway, this was Still Steps, powered by us because we are Still Steps. Mr. Rich Michaels, Mr. Moyo Fit Chris Wilson. I am Politic and Hot, and holler at us next Friday, same time, same Twitter handle, YouTube handle, Twitch handle. Coming soon to Facebook, soon as we get out of Facebook jail with the 60 day probation. So, you know, once we get that
we
clear,
already got the followers. We already got the followers.
you know what I mean? Appreciate everybody following us on the Facebook. If you're not following us, if you're watching us tonight and you're not following us, follow us on the respective platforms and continue, you know, to check back with us for that turnbuckle talk. Till then, we'll holler at y'all next Friday. Peace.